Ladies and gentlemen, I have me a beautiful, wonderful, and no disrespect to a lot of singers out there because you all great, but I got me a beautiful bird song that can put me to sleep and make me cry. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the one and only legendary Melba Moore is in the building. Hello, Melba.
Thank you.
We don't have to mention it. And those who don't know you, they're going to know you just by getting the music and just knowing what's going on. Such an incredible voice. But as a child, please explain to us, and me too, even though I know you, but explain to us what made Melba Moore decided that this is exactly what you was going to do from the time that you was a child. What was your environment that made you gravitate to being the singing star and Broadway and actress that you are today?
I think, first of all, it's in my genes. So it's something that God calls you to and makes you born into something so that it's organically and naturally there. But my mother was a single parent. She's African-American, of course, from the South. Her mother had strokes, so she was a professional singer. And she fell in love with it. They didn't get married. My father, Teddy Hill, who was a very famous band leader in the 40s and the 50s. So I come by organically, but there was no family structure, which is typical of us who are Afrocentric. Of course, everybody from America came from somewhere else, but nobody but us came here as slaves.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am.
And so the family and our identity and our culture have been, they can't really destroy us, but it's been decimated. That was typical of that.
Right.
So, but my mother married my stepfather. His name is, I say is because I feel like I'm still with him. He passed away 2 years ago, but he was 101 years old. So you celebrate that.
No, there you go. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
ma'am. But
he
was a real father. He had a son and a daughter. So I then had my stepbrother and my stepsister. I had a mother and a sister. He had sisters and brothers. So I had aunts and uncles now. I had cousins. I had a real family. That's very important.
Right.
You know, people say, well, when you don't know anything until your cultural community or family exposes it to you or gives you that platform.
Right.
But my mother married my stepfather when I was 10. Now, if you're going to be a singer and you are the instrument, usually by the time you're 2 or 3 years old, it says there's somebody to cultivate that, you know that. So when somebody says, when did you know? Well, I never would have known if she hadn't married my stepfather, possibly.
Right. Okay.
And we moved to Newark, New Jersey, and there I have my sister Clement, my brother Dennis, and then later on we have brother Elliot and our brother Gerard. And so I have siblings. I taught my little baby brothers how to swim. I got these long notes from swimming, by the way.
All right.
But it first comes from the family, and my mother and stepfather performed together. So they would rehearse in the house. So I had a live band in my living room.
Wow.
And my stepfather was a piano player. So he made everybody study the piano. So now at 10 years old, I began to study an instrument. So I'm studying music. So I'm getting ingrained in it.
Yes, yes.
And so by the time I got to junior high school, we had to figure out where we were going to go to high school. And I discovered by that time all the involvement with music at home and in school, that I wanted to major in music, not just go to a public school.
Right.
So my stepfather had gone to Southside, and all his family had gone to Southside. They went to public schools. So he thought I would go there. I said, Daddy, I want to study music. So I found Arts High, and I majored in vocal music there. So by then, I didn't know I could be a star or anything. I could even sing. I just hoped I sang good enough to get into the school.
Right.
And after that, it was over.
I'm jumping into 1986. Now, this is a story you can fix for me. During 1986, you had your own sitcom show, which was on CBS, if I'm not mistaken. CBS, am I correct? I believe it was CBS.
Yeah. I think it was called Melba.
Right, it was called Melba. And from what I'm understanding, you can fix this now, that it only had one episode and it never re-aired again. Explain to us why that happened.
Because I was then married to my then husband, Charles Huggins. And he really, he's just a genius. But he's a backwoods country boy. He's from Lydia, North Carolina. Did you ever hear of it?
Yeah.
Lydia?
Yeah. No, I'm not laughing. I mean, no, but I know.
You country then.
Yeah, well, my entire family is.
Well, come get that. Our whole romantic dating situation was he would say something, I would say, huh? He had such a southern brogue.
We had to learn new words from them.
Right. He was a genius at he was gifted as an entrepreneur, and that's as great a gift, maybe perhaps stronger as being a musical artist.
Right.
But he really wasn't strong in theater. He didn't know anything about theater, except he went from the fact by the time I was with him and got married, I already had a Tony Award and had lost my career. Because Clifton and I broke up and all that. So he had engineered getting the TV show, but the space shuttle blew up. And by that time, there was a whole lot of things that happened that we weren't able really to get the business part of it back together. So
right. Okay, because
you don't have the agents, the managers, the people that are gifted at that.
Right.
You can be as great an artist as you want to, but nobody will be able to market you or show that talent. So that's what happened.
Exactly. Now that I wanted to make sure I had that right, because I know that's the story I heard. But everybody else tried to put their own. And I'm like, well, I know Ms. Melba, so I'm going to ask her to give me the correction of it. And that's what we heard, that when the spaceship shuttle blew up, it was like everyone was focused on that. And it just kind of just took everyone away from, because it actually aired on that same day, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly the same day. Yeah.
Right, exactly. But that didn't stop you anyway, because you continue to thrive on into, doing television spots on certain shows. But actually, a lot of people got to know you more as you began to build your career, not only just as a singer and actress, but as a songwriter, and as well as being a talent scout and being a management, creating a management company called Hush Production, where you've introduced us to a lot of great artists during the 80s, the beginning of the 80s, and songwriters from Kashif.
Well, I and my then partner, Charles Huggins, he's the genius on that part of it.
Right.
But I was a willing conspirator. Anything I could do to help pave the way or help groom the artists or help promote the artists, I tried to do that. But he really was a genius and went out and got the songwriters and the producers. He made the deals with the record companies. And he got the top agents, William Morris and all those great agents. He did that, and he put together a management team first for me, and then for all of the rest of the artists that passed through. I should name this because people don't know that my then husband, Charles Huggins, brought McFadden and Whitehead into Hush Productions. First of all, as songwriters and producers for me and Freddie Jackson.
Right.
But then we managed them, and that's the reason why they did Ain't No Stopping Us Now, which is the first and only hit that they've ever had.
Right, exactly, yeah.
We all engineered that as really kind of a family.
You also did a lot of great duets with people, whether it's with Kashif, Lilo Thomas, or Freddie Jackson. Tell us about working with Freddie Jackson, because he was one of the artists that people really saw y'all two as like this duet team, like it was coming. Because at the time, Freddie Jackson, y'all had already groomed him. He became this huge success, new artist during the mid-'80s. What was your relationship like working with Freddie during that time?
Well, he was our first artist. And actually, I'm trying to think. He came with Lilo Thomas, Paul Lawrence, then later like Kashif. There was a whole bunch of really great songwriters, producers, and performers. Melissa Morgan, a whole plethora of artists came in that bunch. And I don't know if people know that Freddie Jackson is a great songwriter.
Yes, he is. Yes.
And, but he should really do stand-up. He's hilarious.
Yeah, but but that's for only the people that know.
Well, I know that's a sign. Okay,
right. Is it?
Okay, but I'm trying to tell you. I guess why I think in joy and humor, it comes out of love and
of course.
I don't know, affectionateness, and I think I know that's what I am, and that's what he is.
Right.
And so we love to see each other like that, and so. If we're, doing a romantic scene or a long song together or working together, it exudes that. And I think, we love Freddie. We do love Freddie. He loved us. And so we just had great joy and fun all the time and all of the work that we did. I took him out on the road with me as a backup singer. But while we were there, I started to feature. I didn't let him open for me because nobody knew who he was. I put him in the middle of my show. And I let him sing one song, Good Morning Heartaches.
And that was it.
And I said, everybody, okay, I know when he starts singing, he's probably going to start hollering and screaming. You're not even going to hear the rest of the song. But let me tell you right now, this is my artist. His name is Freddie Jackson. And that's exactly what happened.
Well, we are happy that you were able to pull someone like him, because the duet between you and him, Just a Little Bit More, is a song that we play here a lot during our Quiet Storm.
It was written for us by Gene and John.
Okay.
So I mean, that's what my then husband did, Charles Huggins. Mm-hmm. He sculpted things for us. So I think Freddie came out singing like he's singing, came out the womb.
Right.
but mine had to be developed.
Right.
And so it was a great skill and hard work bringing songwriters and producers together to sculpt things. For us. Yeah,
exactly. To find those songs that's going to work for you. Unlike today, artists, they don't do that today. But y'all were in a training process, because.
But they knew what they was doing. I was in training.
But they knew it was going to work for you, and you even once you sang it, you knew you can make it work for them. Because you got to bring people's song to life. Just because you're a great singer, you got to be able to bring it to life. That's one of the things. Even before I get out with this interview with you, I'm going to ask you that question. But here's another question that I do want to ask you, though, because even later on, after all that great success that you have done musically, and you brought so many people to our lives working with them, you also got back into a lot of new generations seeing you in film again, working alongside with the OJs and Cuba Gooding Jr. and Beyonce. We talking about the film, The Fighting Temptation. Now, I want to tell you something. My niece remembers seeing a picture of me and you, and she go, "That's that lady that was in the picture with you." I said, "That's Melba Moore. What you talking about?" And we got to educate our nieces, and I'm like, and then but she's singing with Beyonce. No, Beyonce is singing with her. Let's fix this. But tell us, because it looks so much fun. Tell us about working on that film, Fighting Temptation. What was that like for you, working with guys like who your friends, the OJs, and even Cuba Gooding Jr., who you probably known since a child because you knew his father.
But what about Noah Love?
Right.
Mary.
Yes, yeah.
You know who I can't breathe hardly. Yolanda Adams.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, Steve Harvey.
Mm-hmm. All these people.
Let me just say this. I know I'm a small person, but Beyonce makes everybody look short and ugly.
Nah.
And I was in the middle of my discovering really that I was saved. And so the fact that the Fighting Temptations is really a movie, because it's a parody, but it doesn't dishonor the church.
Right. Exactly.
So it's what I would call a gospel comedy.
Mm-hmm. Right. Which was in your lane. You were in that lane.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't sing like Pastor Shirley Caesar, but I love the Lord.
Right. But you know what? Us growing up and hearing you sing gospel, we can say you could stand next to her, though. You stand next to her, Melba. Come on now. Come on.
Thank God, things are diversifying, and you can find your way to find your own style. Yes. But I guess my point was I was saved, and so I was very secluded and just learning about that and becoming this new person. So I didn't go to the movies because I was busy. I don't know if you know what it is to get truly saved. Everything else goes away, and God really rules over you.
Right.
And so before you know it, the day is gone, and you've been in the scriptures, and you've been listening, and you've been studying, and that fills your day. So I knew who Cuba Gooding Sr. was, of course. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know who Cuba Gooding Jr. was.
No, oh my goodness, that's new to me. That's new to everybody. I had automatically, I thought to myself, maybe you knew him as a child because you knew his father. Like, really?
Anyway, that's how I felt doing the Fighting Temptations.
But those are moments that when you think back on it and you say to yourself, wow, it was just, I guess us watching it, it was good for us to see you still in a good place. With even some of your peers and even with the new artists that were a part of that, like the Montel Jordans and all those. So it was good. Yeah. But we're not going to stop you from there, Melba, because we know right now you got that new single out right now, which is called Just Doing Me. Melba, we want to know. Tell us about this new song you got out called Just Doing Me.
Well, once again, I got to tell you about the people that make it possible. That's George Pettis, whom, if you watch the video, you see him playing the keyboards.
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
He's really playing the keyboards.
Mm-hmm.
But he wrote the music, and his wife, Angela Pettis,
Mm-hmm.
wrote the lyrics. Now, that's important to me because we did it quite a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to UK and worked with Barbara Tucker, great house music singer artist, and Terry Hunter, who's a great DJ and musician, and he's an arranger, and he does remixes.
Okay.
So they had taken the song and done this whole thing with it, and then my manager kept me up to date that it was coming out, and then my partner Ron played it for me. I said, "Oh man, that's great!
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like that. Who's that singing?" I didn't recognize it.
Get out of here! You kidding me?
I said, "Oh, that sounds so fresh. Listen at them horns." I said, "That's good. That's a hit." I said, "It's your hit, darling."
Wow. So I'm sure people have taken your vocals and put it in different kind of styles, and you didn't notice that at all when they played it for you?
To me, it sounded, well, first of all, I hadn't heard it in a very long time.
Right.
Second of all, these days, you're not confined to one record company or one producer.
Mm-hmm.
You're independent, so you're around looking for other projects and doing things, and so you're not. I remember what they said and everything, but they took it and did whatever they wanted to it. We signed all the agreements. There were people that I had worked with before, so I trusted them. So it wasn't these long legal things that you got to worry about. I knew I was in good hands. I didn't think about it.
Right.
So, I had said it was okay for it to be on Newark, which is Terry's label. Mm-hmm. And so when it came out and I saw the artwork, I said, "Oh, Mirrorball Records. Okay. Yeah, that's my record company, right?"
But I didn't know that was me. That's me.
Yeah, and then before it was out, like a couple of weeks, I saw people doing their own videos to it, roller skating,
right?
And, dancing in the house. And of course, we were shut down. What do you call it? Quarantine.
that's D nice all year round. Quarantine D nice.
We was all quarantined, and so this was like the breakout of the first thing that everybody who had been under the which is everybody,
right?
D Nice came out with this party, so everybody was there, and he had been featuring some of my music anyway,
right?
And then the song came out, and my partner started to show me some of the videos. There was a beautiful young man in a wheelchair.
Wow.
His legs wouldn't move.
Uh-huh.
So he said, "I'm just doing me."
That's that.
You can do it.
Yeah. That shows it.
I said, "Thank you, Lord."
Yeah.
That's the spirit of it.
That's what I was going to say.
It's great music.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody takes it and actually makes it theirs.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It was like I guess the spirit of that music just moved that person that was in a wheelchair. And that's what we're happy about of artists yourself to continue to do music. As long as people can feel it. And,
right.
and I guess when the time comes when everybody does go back out and you can see him and touch him again, that's something we need.
And we'll take that with us, I think.
Exactly. Yes.
There's a new, because we've been hopeful, and God has granted our greatest hopes. First of all, that we can safely grieve the ones we've lost.
Right. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
And it doesn't drown us.
Right.
Because there's like close to 300,000 people. These are our families and friends,
Yeah.
But somehow the joy of the Lord just takes that up and over, and all of a sudden you're out of yourself and you're into each other. I said, "Well, who is that beautiful young lady roller skating by herself? She was doing like a ballet."
Right.
Cool. And then there was a young lady, and she's got her daughter doing it now. And she was in there. She said, "Oh yeah, okay." And then when she got her drink, she said, "Oh yeah."
Everybody feeling now.
Yeah. So
Your spirit, since I've met you when I was younger, is still the same, and I will love you forever for that. Because when I have you on my show, you always come with that great spirit, and you never tell me no. So that I mean, you can tell me no, I won't be mad.
I can't.
You know what we're like?
What?
You people. you the middleman. You know, if you don't be there, I don't get connected. We are the other side of one coin.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I need you. You're my family, and I'm yours.
Well, thank you so much, and I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you.
And I just want to tell you that.
You know it's true. You know I'm not hyping.
No, I know
Don't
that.
say hyping.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, or gassing up, or hyping. Don't gas them up, you know.
Okay,
but I just want to say this before I let you go. My mother wanted me to tell you. She said, "Tell Miss Moore that I said thank you for being nice to my son, Bobby, because you could be crazy sometime, Bobby. They may think you crazy." I said, "No, mommy, Miss Moore know that I'm sane. I'm not insane." So,
tell your mama I said, even if he is crazy, he's family.
There you go. See, mommy, I'm one of the crazy family members. There you go. Miss Moore, thank you so much for taking this time.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Miss Melba Moore. Don't disappear. We got more music coming up.